something like that.
One thing I did want to say, because I've given this a lot of thought, and people have asked, it's been frustrating to me to hear some of my Republican colleagues say, I didn't leave the party left me, type of, I'm the traditional Republican, and they're crazy conservatives.
Right.
I've looked back on 28 years of politics, and I look back and I go, okay, so obviously I've seen my own, voting record, my ideas, and that sort of thing become more conservative. Was that by design? Was that by happenstance? What was it? Was it opportunistic? Some would argue it's opportunistic. You got a more conservative caucus, so you need to be more conservative in return if you're going to be successful. And the thing that struck me is Hutchinson is a pretty. It's a community where the families have stayed there. So, to a very large extent, the people who voted for me 28 years ago are still there if they haven't passed on, and if they've passed on, their children are still there. And so I don't have a real new constituency that's taken shape over the last 28 years. And I look back and say, okay, let's forget about me. Let's look at this family, this family, this family, this family. How have they changed, if any, over time? And I was struck by the fact that as they've aged, as I've aged, almost to a person, they have become more conservative over time. I have become more conservative. And so in many ways, I kind of bristle at this idea that suddenly, overnight, the party just kind of moved to the right and left some of our colleagues behind. I would suggest to my colleagues that they maybe read the book Who Moved My Cheese, because I think in many cases they have failed to recognize that the cheese has moved.